corruption. Several cell phones and a laptop was confiscated by the team, with Sibiya admitting he was under the impression he was going to be arrested. Oren Singh was there.
Seasoned cop Shadrach Sibiya says he's been under surveillance since he was suspended as Deputy National Police Commissioner. Sibiya addressed the media outside his family home in Centurion following a search and seizure operation by SAPS.
We are under siege here. It's helicopters, it's surveillance, left, right, and center. This is abuse of power. Yesterday, there was a black X3 there, and then as you come out, you will see there's a car that side and there's a car that side. I mean, this is what I have to live with at this present moment.
Sibiya says he feels betrayed by police management, but he will not back down.
Then I wish my colleagues could be at least thinking for my kids, my family. They haven't done anything wrong for them to be traumatized like this. I know they want to push me out. I will never resign. They must fire me.
Sibiya will appear before Parliament's ad hoc committee on Monday. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News, Centurion.
The Chief of Staff to suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu says he fears for his life following a raid at his apartment by armed law enforcement officers. Cedric Nkabinda says SAPS members in balaclavas and automatic rifles visited his Midrand flat last night and assaulted his brother, whom they mistook him for. At a media briefing this afternoon, Nkabinda says he wasn't at home for the time of the raid. And lawyers representing tender tycoon Hangwani Maumera are currently locked in discussions with curators from the Special Investigating Unit over an ongoing raid at his Sandton property. The SIU has raided Maumera's opulent 3-story mansion in Sandton today as part of investigations into corruption linked to the Tembisa hospital tenders. Maumera has been linked to irregular contracts at the hospital, which were initially flagged by murdered whistleblower Babita Diokaran. Among the assets seized this afternoon are 3 Lamborghini vehicles, valuable artworks and a massage parlor. A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, with afternoon showers expected. Joburg drops to an overnight low of 12 degrees, peaking at a high of 26. Pretoria's at 16 and 27. Vereeniging 13 and 27. Monkey Ziko Ko. Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Great show as always, Darop.
Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Great show as always. Thanks.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful show, Robert. Thank you so much. It
always gives me pleasure to speak to someone who's got such an insight.
I love the introduction.
Hey, what is show, Marawa?
I don't know, maybe you are still calling Mr. Madluputu, or maybe that does not exist.
Sure, Robbie.
And Van der Sar is absolutely unbeatable from the penalty spot.
The legend himself, Edwin van der Sar, who is in South Africa. The issue of mental health in sport, I mean, how critical a conversation is it today? Seemingly, a lot of sports people struggle with it.
Let's say the pressure is not only from performing, but also from the outside, from the journalists, the fans, social media. So if you really want to perform at the highest level, you have to make sure you can shut those things off. But for young people, it's important to be active, to play sports, have good coaches around you, have somebody where you can talk to on several issues that you're dealing with. And sometimes when it's hard family life, some troubles there at home, it's difficult to perform and reach the potential that you can reach.
And he pumps it where Van der Sar has saved again. 2 out of 2 for Edwin van der Sar.
Rob, I don't believe you've got Edwin van der Sar with you there in studio. Rob, you are in a league of your own. You are continuously raising the bar very high while many are playing catch up in the broadcasting space. We need to give you credit for that, because Edwin van der Sar, you are one of the greatest goalkeepers in the football history. He was the key figure in that Ajax Amsterdam's golden generation that won the UEFA Champions League.
To face the Spanish on October the 11th.
To Amacheta, they've made us very, very proud, and may they continue making us proud.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Oh, it's a bumper show happening tonight. Welcome to #MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
All I can tell you is that the ZIFA president is here already. Very punctual, and looking forward to chatting to him coming up a little bit later on, though. As you know, it's a big day tomorrow for SA. We really stand on the threshold of greatness, maybe an opportunity to represent on a global scale with the FIFA World Cup coming up in exactly what? It's a couple of days, man. 45 days or so to go before the FIFA World Cup. So all I'm saying is that we look forward to chatting to the ZIFA president. Look forward to hearing from him, getting an outline on so many different things, but you can send us a WhatsApp voice note if you have any questions for him. But more than anything else, though, I think in totality, it was my next guest appointed early in the week into FIFA committee, and also the ZIFA president himself also appointed into FIFA committee himself. So, hey, you know what, the beautiful game, it continues to find its heroes, not only on the pitch, though, but in the boardrooms, I think, where legacies are forged. Also, the futures are pretty much shaped there in terms of decision-making. Now, from that arena to the global stage, hey, she's done it again. She's a trailblazer. She's a visionary, a force of brilliance who's carried the gold and black with a lot of grace and grit and determination. And also greatness. I mean, she's shattered ceilings, elevated brands, inspired generations, and now she steps into a new arena, appointed to FIFA's Men's Football Stakeholders Committee, representing Africa, representing South Africa, representing Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, she's not just making history, she's rewriting the playbook for women in sport. The world is watching very, very closely. Please welcome the Marketing and Commercial Director of Kaizer Chiefs, and now a global game changer, Jessica Motaung. Jessica, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Rob. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you for having me on the show.
Does that summarize your journey?
Well, it's quite an extensive journey, but certainly does summarize it, and just really proud to be where I am right now. And thank you to Chiefs, obviously. I think my work at the league and my work with the Federation and with CAF, and really privileged to be given this platform at FIFA.
Well, congratulations, firstly. FIFA Men's Football Stakeholders Committee, you're right there. What is your reaction, though, when you received the news?
Well, I was surprised. I mean, I was obviously overwhelmed. It's a very serious committee, one that deals with all the stakeholders of FIFA, the top stakeholders. So I was really honored and privileged to be considered. And thank you to the FIFA president, the Secretary General, as well as the FIFA Council for voting me in.
I mean, I know that as your star continues to rise and shine, and just that summary says a lot about who Jessica Motaung is. You almost like put it right down there, but it's right up there, Jess. I think you and I would know, and we would argue for days here, that it's one of the world football's most powerful decision-making bodies, and you're going to be there for 4 years. What beams through your mind in terms of what to do in those 4 years?
Well, first and foremost, I think one of the things is to learn, but obviously to also share what is happening in the men's game and just in football on the continent. You know, the continent has so much to share. So to be able to engage with what the continent is doing, and also bring it back to the continent in terms of some of the things I'm able to learn and give back. You know, I think that's important, but definitely also to be part of, hopefully, ushering in more innovation into the game as well.
When you talk about that, I go back to the historically male-dominated sport, which is football. I mean, how significant is it for you as an African woman to sit at that global decision-making table?
It's definitely such an honor and important, you know, to be able to have representation in the space, to be able to share what I've been able to do here at Kaizer Chiefs with the league, and also to be able to represent our continent. You know, it's very key for us to have representation at that table. So certainly very honored, and looking at the composition, to be the only woman on the committee is also a big step.
And when Gianni Infantino, obviously, I've been hearing him speak because so many other leaders within the African continent have been drawn into the FIFA committees. But one of the significant things just that he has spoken about is the increased female representation. He says that FIFA is better equipped, though, to face the future. So when you have more of that representation, and given the global growth of the women's game as well, is it exciting times to be female, be proud of football and the association?
Definitely exciting, Robert. I've just come back from the General Assembly, the CAF General Assembly in the DRC. Just wonderful to see also the female representation there. Excited to see a woman like Bestine, who is on the Women's Committee at FIFA, and she's actually the chair of that committee. Excited to see other women who have been brought onto the space, and also other African leaders. So it's definitely an exciting time. It also says African football has really matured, it's grown, and we're able to contribute internationally.
I mean, I saw the statement that came through from the chairman of Kaizer Chiefs, and he was saying that he is very, very proud. It shows on a lot of levels that the world is starting to say to Jessica Mudawung that we see you, we want you closer. And now it's not just about Kaizer Chiefs, it's about CAF, it's now about FIFA as well. What is it like, though, outside of statements, when you engage with the chairman and given where you are?
No, I mean, engaging with the chairman, he really was very, very obviously congratulating me, but also engaging with me on the responsibility of the platform and the stage that I'm going into. But certainly very proud, and I must say thank you to the Kaizer Chiefs family for all the support, but also to all South Africans and Africans who have either through Twitter or through my phone was just inundated with messages. So I'm very thankful to everybody who has sent their congratulations, but certainly the chairman has it really instilled in me the importance and the responsibility that this platform brings.
They told me you're not on Twitter.
No, I'm not on Twitter.
Okay.
Well, I am on Twitter, but I'm not officially on Twitter, Rob. I don't have my own Twitter handle, but that may change soon. You never know.
Yeah, we have to have that change. So there's so many fake accounts that are out there. So when we genuinely want to go out there and congratulate Jessica, we don't know if it's some, some dodgy character sitting somewhere.
We'll have to have an authentic one very soon,
I know. I think even the FIFA president, he glides on the whole social media aspect on Instagram and so on. So, I mean, it's a new direction. You don't have to be physically involved every day. You just have to sign off a couple of posts and all as well. But when you look at your experience at Kaizer Chiefs, I mean, how do you think that will influence discussions and policies at a global level now?
Well, I think I've learned a lot here at Kaizer Chiefs, so I have a lot that I can share. But certainly also my work at the league has also empowered me to be able to give input. Having worked in the men's game as consistently as I have, I think I'm well equipped through Chiefs and the league to be able to give input and to also share, like I said, what we as Africans have to bring to the space. What I love about this committee is that we really deal with all of FIFA stakeholders. I mean, when I looked at it, I'm dealing with UEFA, we're dealing with the ECA, we're dealing with all leagues, federation, player unions. So it's really the full ecosystem of men's football, which is very, very exciting because I've been exposed to a lot of that, but certainly have a lot to take in from the other federations and the other institutions that are part of this stakeholder interaction.
It also mean an increased travel for you on a regular basis.
No, certainly a lot more travel, but I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed my travel on the continent and looking forward to traveling to Zurich and other parts of the world to be able to share and learn.
And also when you look at things also from a global perspective here, Jess, and I've seen young women watching your journey. Maybe at times they doubt how far they'll go. At times they get really, really told negativity left, right, and center. And they lose hope. I mean, here's a symbol of leadership that's come through on your side. If you're a young woman and you're listening to the show right now who has ambitions to grow on many different levels within football, what did your message be to them?
Well, the message obviously is to believe in themselves. That's important, Rob. If you don't believe in yourself, that's not going to take you anywhere. But most importantly, do your work. Focus, excel. commit yourself to what you want to do, regardless of what people have to say. I mean, I've been in a male-dominated space. In most boardrooms, I've been the only woman, but I've been very consistent in terms of working hard, being diligent, and then working with other people. I think that's the other thing is, that's the great thing about being in a team sport is understanding that you also grow working with other people. It's not just about you on your own, but really it's about believing in yourself and doing the work, because a lot of the time people want the glory and the outcome, but it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And in some cases, people close doors on you, but the right door opens for you. But it's really about doing the work and being consistent.
What about balance now? You got club duties, international responsibilities. It's not going to be easy. How are you preparing for this next chapter?
Well, it's very important that obviously the structures within the club are strengthened with me traveling. So it's really looking at restructuring my team and making sure I have the right people working there. I mean, I've got a good team already, but I think now we have to look at adding more people to the team. We have a strategy session actually scheduled for next week to discuss some of the changes that need to come in and see how I further resource the club. And then obviously looking at having my own office that'll deal with the international work that I'm doing and making sure that I can deliver on all fronts. But certainly, want to make sure that the club is stable while at the same time I'm able to commit to my international work.
So you're not going to be stepping down anytime soon from the marketing and commercial directorship?
Well, I have to look at all of that and see what changes need to be made. And I think that's what we're looking at, is to say, how do I continue being part of the club, but also at the same time be able to go into the rest of the world. I think it's also good for the Chiefs brand to be able to be in the space that I'm in. Chiefs is a very well-recognized brand, and it's important that I'm sitting at those tables as well for them.
So it means it's something that you're looking at and looking at it very strongly, because it is an important position to hold, Jessica. I think you and I know in terms of visibility of the club and the future success of it.
No, definitely. It's something that I'm looking at very, very closely and making sure that I'm very deliberate in terms of how I structure things. But it's
Hi, Rob. This is Andrew from Rodipot. Rob, I would just like to congratulate Jess for her appointment in the FIFA Stakeholder Men's Committee. I'm very excited for her. But at the same time, I want to say that I'm a bit concerned, because I was quite happy when she was appointed as the CAF Women's Committee member, because with her wealth of experience in football, I felt that this was going to be a masterstroke to take the women's football in Africa to another level, especially starting at home here with Kaizer Chiefs and the likes of Pirates, so that we can grow the women's football league. However, now that she has ascended to the FIFA committee, I'm just wondering that how she's going to maintain that balance, because we still need her here in Africa. There's still a lot of things to be done in the ladies football league. Rob, Andrew from Rodipot.
Yeah, sorry, Jess. Andrew, obviously concerned, like a lot of people would be. How do you respond to him?
What's exciting for me, Rob, is that I'm not lost to African football, and particularly to the women's game. I'm still a member of the CAF Women's Football Committee. In fact, I've been roped into a special task force that's taking women's football to the next level under Ms. Christine. And we met when I was away at the General Assembly, and we have a very, very strong strategy of what we're going to do there. But most importantly, I'm still part of the SAFA Women's Committee, but I'm also very passionate about what Chiefs is doing in the space. We've got a relationship now with String Sweepers. We're looking at the women's football strategy very extensively here at Chiefs. And I'll continue to play a key role there. Women's football is something that I'm excited about and will continue to support. So my work at CAF and in the women's space will just be amplified by what I'm doing at FIFA.
A final little test to see how involved you are with Kaizer Chiefs still, Jess. I've got 30 seconds for you to answer. How soon are you getting a coach?
That is something I'm not going to answer right now. Today is my international day. The work at Chiefs will discuss, and the coaching situation. I think, Rob, we can discuss it another time. I think it's something that will require some other time and for us to unpack. But certainly happy that the guys are working together to make sure that they are keeping the team working and making sure that the team is ready for their next assignment. We'll be going to the DRC, so I've just come back from there, so that I know that the team are preparing quite extensively for that.
All right. If it wasn't for the celebratory mode of this conversation, you know which direction we'd be taking. But Jessica, all well and said. You know what? Congratulations. All of us are very proud. Lots of messages that are coming through echoing the same sentiment and wishing you everything of the best.
Thank you, Rob. And I just want to thank, obviously, the FIFA president and the council. Thank also the president of CAF and obviously the chairman here at Kaizer Chiefs for the support in my journey in football. And looking forward to also representing South Africa on the world stage and adding value the best way that I can. And thank you to everybody for the well wishes and the support.
FIFA Men's Football Stakeholders Committee member and recently appointed Jessica Mdawung joining us right here on #MSW. When we come back from the break, though, we also, live in studio, believe it or not, he actually put aside a trip to Durban that he was supposed to be on tonight. And he said, we can't do this thing on the phone. I'm coming to your studio. So we welcome the FIFA president.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Cell C brings you the best Samsung deal that delivers. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE that gives you speed and style on a 36-month Elevate 2 Plus contract at the limited launch price of 749 Rand per month. Available to the first 1,000 customers. Go in store or call 084145. Valid until 31 October. T's and C's apply. Switch to C. Cell C.
Ask yourself, what matters most? Is it being there for their first steps and still around for their first dance? Knowing you're not just covered, but cared for. Bonitas goes beyond benefits and claims. We're in your corner for what matters most. Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. Voted #1 medical aid in the Ask Africa Orange Index Awards for the second year running. Visit bonitas.co.za and find your plan.
Dlala Madludla, coach. The games are out. Who are you betting on?
Dlala Madlamin, top player. On Sports Stake 4, I'm going with the strongest defense.
Nice one, coach. But I'm going with the goals.
What is that, Coach Amanda? Now it's up to the fans to dala or rather dlala what they must. Dlalu 4.
Sports Stake 4 for only 2 Rand. Pick win, lose or draw for 4 games and you could win. Play at any participating National Lottery retailer. Be enjoy a game. Panda, push up, play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Give your family the ultimate surprise. A white Christmas in Shanghai with MG. Test drive the all-new MG3 hatch or the ZS Pro crossover during October and you could win a trip to Disneyland Shanghai this Christmas. Whether you need a sporty car for the city or a practical runabout for your family, there's a new MG for you at a price you can afford. Visit mgmotor.co.za and book your test drive today. MG, since 1924.
Lyft is turning 5 and we're celebrating with South Africa. Back in 2020, the public chose our name, and now 5 years later, Lyft is inviting you to design a tail of a real Airbus A320. That's right, your design could take to the skies on one of our aircraft. And the best part? The winning designer gets flights for a whole year. Don't miss your chance to leave your mark on South African skies. Visit lyft.co.za to enter today. T's and C's apply.
It's Harold Ned Forest Hotline, Rowan on the line.
Harold, help. Last year, I forgot my wife's birthday.
Whoops, let me guess. Things got a bit hairy, hey?
No, the exact opposite. She swapped my shampoo for hair remover. There's not a hair left on my head.
Ooh, smooth.
Please help me get it right this year.
Oh, you can get a lot more than right. Just visit Net Florist and order the biggest birthday bouquet you can. And your head will be all taken care of. Net Florist, it's easy to show you care.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And he puts it where Van der Sar has saved again. 2 out of 2 for Edwin van der Sar.
And good evening to Edwin van der Sar. What a legend. Where are things going wrong? What are the goalkeepers not doing, especially at this day and age of goalkeepers?
The different eras in goalkeeping require different ways and approaches.
Of course, I think every era brings his brings the strikers, midfielders, defenders, and goalkeepers. And I was just very lucky to be at the golden generation, where we're play with Holland or the team that I played at Manchester United. So for a goalkeeper, you need to have stability. If you have good players around you, good defenders, you play a long time with each other, then you know what's going to happen.
Here goes Pizarro, and Van der Sar keeps it out. So his delaying tactic worked.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Ukhuluma noSibongelelo Wamkhwani kaMgama Thafeni. Yesterday, end of the road for our SA under 20, but I think there are a lot of positives in that team, Mr. Marawa. When you look at most of the players who were participating there, I think some of them will be regular starters in their respective club come next season. I'm talking about players like Abo Mfundo Vilagazi, now Kekana from Mamelodi Sundowns, just number 8. What a player, Mr. Marawa. He reminds me of Uhlompo Kekana, Upra Hlompo. But I think for the tournament overall, I think the boys did very well. It's just that we were going to be happy to see them progressing to the next round, but I think there are a lot of positives in that team. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Yeah, we're all reeling from that disappointment from last night, but all I can say is that to Coach Raymond Mdaka and the rest of the team, guys, when you get to the reality of a knockout round of a World Cup, a lot of things change. It's not the same. And what you would have got right 2 days ago, you'll get wrong. It's a pressure cooker out there. So we understand. The made and broken records made history, and we can only salute them. We'll welcome them back. We'll have them in the studio. We'll talk and encourage them to continue doing more. But we want to get to the World Cup. I don't know if Zimbabwe want to get to the World Cup. They can't, actually, right now. So that's why we're going to be crossing the Limpopo to a land of football passion. We're going to be making sure that the pride and the potential is spoken about. I mean, here's a man who's now sitting at the heart of African and world football's decision table. Also appointed to FIFA's powerful commercial and marketing advisory committee, shaping the global game's next frontier. That's for sure. Now, from tackling the stadium crisis in Zimbabwe to rebuilding the Warriors' road to FIFA World Cup qualification, and also just navigating the fierce showdowns ahead against Bafana as well as Lesotho. Now, this is a leader with a great deal of fire. Yeah, I've been warned, guys. I've been warned that he's got fire in those veins, vision in his stride. I mean, he's taken on one of the toughest jobs in world football. And that's why since his election as FIFA president, I mean, he's been fighting to bring a lot of pride, structure, global respect coming back to Zimbabwean football. And that is why I'm saying, and I reiterate in his presence, that we don't take it for granted, him sacrificing a trip to Durban early to join us here in studio. Zimbabwean Football Association President Nqobile Magwizi is here. Baba, good to see you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Good evening, listeners. Very happy to be here, actually.
Yeah.
I was not, expecting to be here today, to be honest. And of course, you got in touch, and I was so happy to get the opportunity to come and talk to you. I mean, you are our legends in this space. This football community could not be the same without people like yourself. So I'm really, really, really grateful for this opportunity that you're giving myself and, of course, the constituency I represent, which is Zimbabwe Football Association. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words, Nqobile. Very, very kind of you. That's why I said that just as we had that conversation with Jessica just now, it is important to highlight positive achievements.
Absolutely.
And I've got to congratulate you as well for being drawn in. I know that you've had conversations with Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, even before the Congress, and spelt out so many different things to him. But firstly, just your reaction as we congratulate you on such an important appointment.
Well, I mean, it came as a surprise, but I'm extremely, extremely humbled by the appointment. Of course, we are still to have engagement with the other members of the committee and get the proper induction. But I think broadly speaking, I think our role as a committee is to give oversight, give direction to the global strategy for FIFA in respect to commercial and marketing aspects. So the strategy is very key for FIFA, and FIFA, they're strong on marketing. Anything that they have done so far over the past decades has been premised on their strength on how they commercialize and market the FIFA brand. So it's quite an honor for me, and extremely humbled to be able to represent Zimbabwe and Africa in that commercial and marketing committee. Yeah.
When you had the one-on-one with Infantino, what were some of the key issues that were important for you to articulate to him so that he gets a better understanding of some of the struggles that a ZIFA would have, for example?
Yeah. So one of the key issues, of course, is the issue of infrastructure. I think it's a challenge in Zimbabwe, but not only in Zimbabwe, but it also affects a lot of other African countries. So the issue of infrastructure has been topical, and we did discuss that. And I think at a higher level at FIFA, they're also looking at ways to address that challenge. Because as the president was saying, Infantino, he was saying, it does not make sense for football to be taken away from its people. In this instance, you're talking about playing away from home. It does not make sense. It defeats the whole purpose of FIFA's strategy. So one of the things that FIFA will be looking at is how to solve that infrastructure challenge and ensure that as we go forward, there's a better approach to ensure that every country, every national team is able to play at home.
Because the FIFA Forward program from back in 2020,
yes,
that set about a regeneration of some sort.
Absolutely.
But would you say that is enough? Because the one and only national stadium that I went to in Harare, although undergoing renovation, is not ready. So, to put people into the picture, that is why you've got to play your national team game against South Africa down in Durban at the Moses Mabhida Stadium tomorrow, is because it's not CAF approved.
Approved yet, yes.
Which is obviously problematic. So you give away your home games to another nation that you're playing against, and like you say, it defeats the whole purpose. So tell me about that program and how it's helped to accelerate you getting to the next level.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. As you know, the FIFA Forward program is funding that comes after every World Cup. So right now we're going to FIFA Forward 3, and it came, of course, due to the creativity of FIFA President Gianni Infantino, and the funds that come there primarily focus on football development, whether you're developing your grassroots, whether you are developing infrastructure, but not to a huge scale, because stadiums you're looking at maybe 30 million upwards, but FIFA Forwards funds really they're in the region of maybe 2, 3, even 5 million, depending on what has been designated by the FIFA Council. But with respect to what we are anticipating to receive, we already have put in place the contract of agreed objectives, put it forward to FIFA, and they have already signed it off. So we're looking to actually start working with our various provinces, start working with our regions, and of course, start working with the clubs. Because there's resources that are coming in. We're looking at issues to do with pitches. We're looking at centers of excellence, which we need to develop. Of course, that must fall within a certain budget, of course, below 1 million. We're also looking at a situation where we build a technical center and a head office for ZIFA. It's very important. So those are the things that with the FIFA Forward, we can be able to immediately achieve. Of course, the conversation about how FIFA can assist with regards to stadia, we are looking at a situation where a new strategy is being worked on. But then again, my government as well of Zimbabwe is already working on that, and anytime soon we should be having the National Sports Stadium ready. So I thought it was important to mention that there is a lot of work that is happening as well currently.
I believe the bucket seats and everything else have been put up. Maybe it's a case of the pitch being up to speed. The Chawanda Stadium.
Yes.
a lot of what I hear about it is very good.
Absolutely.
But it cannot be the national stadium because it's 210 kilometers away from Harare.
Yes.
The capacity is only about 15,000. I know that Shepherd Chawanda is the one behind it.
Yes.
And various other clerics are behind it. Give me a bigger picture. Will the ZIFA officers also migrate there? Just put us
So
into the picture.
Chawanda Stadium is in Kwekwe, which is a city. We have 4 major cities in Harare, in Zimbabwe, and it's one of the big cities. En route to Bulawayo, if you're driving from Harare, it's a stadium that is going to be able to house between 15 to 20,000. It's going to be a Category 2. I think a lot of work has gone in there, and this is a private player who has invested a lot of their own personal resources into this stadium. It's looking beautiful. The last time I went there, they've been working hard. We are, of course, hoping that it will be open before the end of the year. We have already been in communication with CAF, the inspectors, so that
the end of this year.
That's the thrust. I mean, when I was talking to the project managers, they were saying before the end of the year, they are looking to that stadium being finished. And of course, we are extremely motivated and grateful to Chawanda, and his team in terms of the work they've already put in there. The stadium is looking beautiful, but it's going to be a Category 2.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a bit far away from the airports, and then it caused a bit of a challenge. But it's solid infrastructure. Once CAF comes in to have a look, of course, they will then guide us accordingly in terms of when they can actually sign it off.
I think just as you talk about Category 2 and people that are listening and maybe not au fait with what that means, I know here in South Africa, that word comes in, especially if there's going to be funerals and so on. The Category 2 means the national team can't play, but you can play under 17s, under 23s.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Some of the CAF games, maybe Confed Cup, some of the Champions
League.
You can
play except for the national team, won't be able to play there. But other national teams can play there.
I think that's important to note, though, because sometimes people say, but what are they inspecting? What is it that they want and need? So as a breakdown, you can have the state-of-the-art stadium, but if the capacity is of a certain level and other areas, I mean, you're working hand-in-hand with CAF with this, so that shouldn't be a problem. As exciting as January was for you, I see there's a lot of expectation that are on your shoulders because that's when you were elected with the record margin of 85% in terms of the vote. And you made a statement that kind of stuck with me for a while. You said Zim football is 20 years behind.
Yes. Yeah. You see, unfortunately, Zimbabwe around 2002 was placed under economic sanctions. And that impacted the socio economic, well-being of the whole nation. Yeah, and as a result, it impacted on how even sports was going to be played. Most of our structures in the grassroots became compromised as a consequence of the financial or the socio-political or socio-economic scenario we had found ourselves in as a consequence of those sanctions. Now, the development that was meant to have happened, where other countries, I remember during that time, South Africa was busy preparing for the World Cup 2010. At that time, very little was happening in Zimbabwe. And of course, when the Second Republic came in, a lot of transformation, of course, started. Yes, and we, of course, started, the infrastructure, the roads that take you to stadia, infrastructure in schools, the universities. A lot of work has been going in. And right now, we're at a place whereby a lot of work is going in to try and resuscitate, to try and reclaim that former glory we used to have around 2000. But for that whole period, there wasn't any investment that was going into football.
Because 95, and I'm going to remind you this so that you yearn to go back to those days. When
Dream Team days.
Yes.
Benjamin
Ponjera and Moses Chunga and everybody else.
Peter Ndlovu.
Yes. I mean, the Ndlovu brothers.
Kaitano Tembo.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
You've got him, back again to be part and parcel of the fold.
Yes.
So he knows the game inside out. But in the FIFA rankings, Zim was 40th.
Yes.
then
yes,
in 95. I mean, we as South Africa kind of teetered around 18 as well. So we've sniffed what glory can be.
Yes.
But we kind of went off the rails.
We never used to worry about playing South Africa then in 1995. Of course, I mean, South Africa was competitive. You had Dr. Kumalo and Phil.
Well, that's when Moses Chunga said, I hear you guys talking about a Dr. Kumalo. He plays more like a nurse than a doctor. So, people are throwing jabs at us from back then. Sorry,
we never used to worry about. To be honest, we never used to worry. In fact, I was younger then, but I never used to have
sleepless nights.
No, but South Africa, normally we would win.
Okay, and the yes or no? Got to go for a break. Are you having sleepless nights about the game tomorrow?
Look, I mean, this is
yes or no. You got to go. Yes or no?
No.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
A simple recharge sounds like this. But when you top up with a Telkom WhatsApp bundle this summer, it could sound like this.
It's 30 degrees today, the perfect day for a bride. You've arrived at your destination.
Summer's better in and outside the group chat with Telkom. Get a monthly 1 gig WhatsApp bundle with voice and video calling for 30 Rand. Get a Telkom SIM. Dial *180# to opt in and tap to win your share of 400 million Rand in prizes, including one of 5 Toyota Starlets when you recharge with 25 Rand or more. T's and C's apply. Telkom. Possible begins here.
You work hard for your business. Why work even harder to fund it? At Lula, we've streamlined our funding process by cutting down paperwork and eliminating collateral to give you up to 5 million Rand in as little as 24 hours. To us, it's not just about fast funding. It's about offering a business class experience to the people that build South Africa, one transaction at a time. Apply today and experience business class banking and funding at lula.co.za.
Dlala Madludla, coach. The games are out. Who are you betting on?
Dlala Madlamin, top player. On Sports Stake 4, I'm going with the strongest defense.
Nice one, coach. But I'm going with the goals.
What's that, Coach Amanda? Now it's up to the fans to dala or rather dlala what they must. Dlalu 4.
Sports Stake 4 for only 2 Rand. Pick win, lose or draw for 4 games and you could win. Play at any participating National Lottery retailer. Enjoy a game. Panda, push up, play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
The Ford Territory Ambiente is the car that can take it all. When you need to take the kids and the 2 inflatable flamingos, or when you need to take another short lift because Caesar wants to tinkle for the 3rd time in 3 hours. Choose the Ford Territory Ambiente from only 495,000 Rand with flexible drive modes for every family adventure. Plus, as part of our Ford Family Promise, you have access to 60-minute express service so you're back on the road in an hour. Visit your nearest Ford dealer today. T&Cs apply.
It's that time of the year. Sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, blocked noses and coughs. It's time to live, work, play and sleep allergy-free. For trusted relief for you and your family this allergy season, ask your pharmacist for the Adcock Ingram OTC Allergy Survival Pack. With products like Allergex Non-Drowsy, Cetacid, Levogex and more, we have you covered. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC. And visit beprepared365.co.za.
Whether it's a business delivery, an entrepreneur's sale, or a care package from mom to daughter, PostNet Courier handles it all. But with a difference. We're not just any courier service, we're your PostNet. At PostNet, you know us by name, and we know you. No faceless digital processes, no endless loops with call centers, just real people ready to help. Visit or call your local PostNet and talk to someone you can trust. Because for us, it's not just about getting your package there, it's about being there for you. PostNet Courier delivers, no matter what.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Here goes Pizarro, and Van der Sar keeps it out. So his delaying tactic works.
And joining us live and for the very first time on #MSW is the Dutch legend himself, the wall himself, Edwin van der Sar. Tell us a little bit more, though, in terms of the legacy work that you've had to perform today in Diepkloof.
No, I think it's important for people to give respect back to society. I think sports people, they have a lot of success. Some earned money also, but it's you come from normal background, so it's after your career, or even during your career, to give something back to society, to give the opportunity to young people the chance that we ourselves had.
#MSW.
#MSW. Good evening, Rob, and good evening to the President. Mr. President, a few months ago, I saw a circular inviting European-based players who are eligible to play for Zimbabwe to make themselves available. Not sure if how authentic that circular is, and is Zimbabwe taking the Equatorial Guinea approach in terms of getting talent that is based in Europe to come and represent the country, and how sustainable is that model, or is the country looking at it from the likes of Utawanda Chirewa, who I believe is one of the special talent to have spent time in Europe and now playing exceptional football for Zimbabwe. And I just want to hear your views around that. Thank you so much.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. If you're wondering who you're chatting to tonight, Zimbabwean Football Association President Ngobile Makwizi is here. Tebogo's question.
Yeah.
How do you address that?
Tebogo, so our approach is that we have a short-term strategy, a mid-term strategy, and a long-term strategy. Short-term strategy, we came into office with the executive committee of ZIFA in January. We knew we had responsibilities to represent the country at the AFCON in December. And obviously, we are aware of our weaknesses. Our grassroots has been weak for a very long time. There is, of course, local talent, but in terms of competitiveness and the levels which are required to be very competitive at a global stage, we realized that we needed a short-term strategy to allow us to be competitive. Hence, I took a trip with the coach to England, where we have a lot of Zimbabweans, to try and lure them or to try and encourage them to play for the national team. And that was part of our short-term strategy, to strengthen our team using the already existing talent in the diaspora. But of course, the long-term strategy is for us to develop our football in the grassroots. We need to establish the under 13, under 15, under 17 provincial leagues where those age groups play amongst each other, and we establish national teams at those under 13, under 15, and under 17 age groups to ensure that as we go into the under 20s, we have youngsters that have been playing together for 5, 6, 7 years, and we can filter them through into the national structures because we have developed them over a period of time, and we have, of course, drilled them with our playing philosophy as a country. And of course, that will be the long-term strategy. But of course, the mid-term, of course, is to ensure that we are blending the diaspora and the players that are playing with our local leagues. But of course, trying to bring in technology as well, better structure in our local leagues, and ensuring that the participation nationally is a structure that allows us to identify the best talent. I hope I've answered you well, Tebogo.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a follow-up question. If you haven't, I think you've done your best to spread it out. But there must be a sense of pride, though, within Zimbabwe of seeing that talent that you talk about representing in major leagues around Europe itself. I think Tebogo touches on it, but when you see your current team, maybe you have more exposure, let's say within a Premier League perspective, as far as individual players are concerned, than a South Africa would have. Mm-hmm. What would you attribute that to? Because maybe is it individually, is it just natural talent? What would you attribute that to?
I think there's a lot of natural talent in Zim, a lot of talent, and a lot of it actually has not been tapped. And this is what we're trying to put in place, a structure that identifies the best of Zimbabweans that can then go on to represent the country. And if you look in terms of historically, Peter Ndlovu was the first African to go into the EPL. I mean, that's a record.
Absolutely.
So it speaks to something. It's a testimony that at least there's something special about Zimbabwe, and my responsibility as the president of the association is to make sure that, working together with my executive committee, we put in place the necessary structures that ensure that talent flourishes and talent is identified and is celebrated.
All right, looking at some of the reaction coming through on Twitter, Futingala says that kindly ask Ngobile as to why they chose Mabhida. Why didn't they play in the next alternative country?
Yeah, so we of course had initially, I'm sure you may have been aware, we had targeted Botswana in Francistown. Now, the FIFA rules, of course, then did not allow us to proceed with that arrangement. It was too late by the time we found out that we could not proceed. And the reason, of course, was that Botswana is also playing there today. And we would need to play on the 10th, which is a day after. And the FIFA rules require access to the stadium for the visiting team, match day -1, where they can familiarize with so we could not play in Botswana. And we had to look around Zambia, look around Malawi, and South Africa. We came back to South Africa. South Africa had more than 10 stadiums. Thanks to World Cup 2010, those facilities are there and available, and the logistics, of course, were making sense. And we had to.
So it was not your first choice?
No, it wasn't our first choice.
All right. I mean, you talk about Botswana, it's half time in their game against Uganda. It's 0-0. So for those who are interested, Liberia 2-0 up against Namibia. We've got Mozambique playing against Guinea 1-1. Also half time, Somalia trailing Algeria 2-0. Then Burundi and Kenya, that is done and dusted. Kenya won that game against Burundi 1-0. So that Botswana game 0-0 as it is at half time. So you're absolutely right. It would have given no time for South Africa to familiarize themselves.
So I believe that was one of the issues which was raised, and of course we now had to find a solution. To play somewhere, and Durban, of course, we're more familiar with Durban. We had played there, Benin.
Yes,
we played them in March there, so we felt
it's at home.
Yeah,
but don't feel too much at home though. Listen to this.
Hi Rob, this is Tomiati from Edenville. Greetings to you and greetings to everyone at MSW. I'd like to say congratulations to Jessica on her appointment. Yeah, I believe we need more and more women in our African in our football, particularly. And greetings to my chairman, Mr. Magwizi, Zifa President. Welcome, Chairman. Hey, Rob. I believe the chairman will be angry with me, but for the first time, man, I believe we should just allow South Africa to go to the World Cup. I know it might sound like we're selling the game, but we're playing absolutely for nothing. Even if we win both games, we'll still be bottom of the table. You understand? I believe it's better to see South Africa going than to see Benin going. He's a professional man. I know him from Zim, man. He's a professional man. I don't think he would allow that. They will give South Africa a fight. But for the first time, my loyalty is divided. I've never wished for my nation to lose, Rob, but I'm sorry, Chairman. Man. Thanks, Rob. Push you as always.
Yeah, he sounds very nervous there. Hey, Tom, Mr. President, I mean, that'll be against the statutes.
Yeah,
be match
the FIFA
fixing.
fair play rules do not allow that. I think we need to remember winning is not the ultimate.
Yeah.
The ultimate purpose of football is really to bring communities together, bring people of different nations together, and to celebrate sport. Yes, I would love to win, but it's not the ultimate agenda for FIFA. Otherwise, if winning was the ultimate, then people would even go to matches with bazookas and machine guns so that you make sure that if you But here's the thing. The purpose of football is really to bring people together.
So we're bringing them together tomorrow?
Bring them together.
You don't have to win?
No, it has to be competitive. We have to play the best because it's important. Remember, there is something to play for Zimbabwe.
Tell me about it.
There is something to play for.
Tell me.
The FIFA rankings. We are getting ready for AFCON as well. We need to prepare for AFCON. I'm confident that my boys will give a good good shot tomorrow. And I think I'm going to watch the match, and I will be watching it closely, hoping that we actually win. We have a strong team. We have a very strong team. I have no doubt in my mind that South Africa will get a good run tomorrow. But all in the spirit of fair play.
People coming together.
People coming together.
Yeah. As long as we're coming together, the results, when I don't worry about the result, as long as people come together. Okay. Sammy, Sunny Maherero, who's watching on the YouTube channel, says that, hey, good memories about Zim football in the 90s. He says, I remember them very, very well. You know, they arrived in Namibia and they finished us. He says the late Benjamin Conjera was the orchestrator. Hey, Benjamin, yes.
Yeah,
That
Benji.
guy.
One of our legends. I mean, he's done very well. I mean,
no, like you're saying, whether it's Piran Ndlovu, Adam Ndlovu, just the Ndlovu brothers were doing magic.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening to MSW listeners. This is Lawrence from Protea Glen. Indeed, Rob, the Ziva president must be worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, because obviously we are not going to give them a break. We are going there to win that game. We are looking at the World Cup status. That's all what we need, and we are going for a win. Just one question, Rob. What is his take on the longevity of the presidency of the associations? For example, the SAFA president has been there for God knows how long. What is his take on that issue with regards to the baton being passed on to the younger blood or the younger administrators? Thank you, Rob. Good show as always.
Appreciate it, man. Good question. We've only got 2 minutes to answer it, but it's an important one because people make these their fiefdoms. They want to stay forever, make it look like it's their home, it's their granny's home, it's their grandparents' home, and yet it's an association serving the nation. What's your take on it?
I think what is important is to follow what the statutes say, the statutes which govern SAFA, because that's the framework that must be followed. Now, anything else, of course, it becomes just talk. But what should govern what happens within SAFA or within South African football should be what the statutes say. And I believe these statutes were created by the majority of South Africans who love football.
Let me ask it differently. So here you are, as I said, newly, because you are newly because January was just around the corner. How long do you think you would need to be in the position as president of ZIFA to make a proper difference where you can say to whoever wants to take over after that, listen, I've done my best, I leave you in glory land?
I would not want to go beyond 8 years. Right now, our statutes as ZIFA can allow a person to go up to a maximum of 12 years. But beyond that, it's not permissible, according to the statutes. But personally, I would not want to go beyond 8 years. I think within 4 years, if you've not managed to make a difference, I think you may as well, call it quits and allow someone else to take over. What is important, of course, is to have a succession strategy as an association, because we need to build for the future. We need to build for the future. We need to empower the young people so that they can also learn from us and be able to take over, whilst we are still there to watch them take over and correct them and give them guidance. So for Zimbabwe, of course, we are fortunate that we have a vibrant exco. And there's a lot of talented people around me that give me advice on a daily basis. At any day, I think if it comes to the point where I need to step down, I think ZIFA can still be in safe hands.
Sure. Yeah. I did negotiate, though, that when you're next in Johannesburg, let's have another session because we can only learn and grow from that.
Absolutely.
I wish you everything of the best, Mr. President. I think it's an important position that you hold, a very influential one. We are neighbors. We've seen talent come into the PSL here in South Africa. We've seen it really expand in the global sphere. And as you dust yourselves off of missing out on the World Cup qualification, just know that we have South Africa here who's living in hope. But I wish you the best. 2 very important games, Bafana Lesotho. And thank you so much, more than anything else, for popping into the studio.
Thank you, Robert.
Love the conversation.
Very grateful. Looking forward to sitting down with you again soon.
No, we will. We will make it soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much there. That's the ZIFA president, Nqobile Makwizi, joining us right here in studio. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets. And this time, we would be getting ready for the second half. Tomorrow, against Zimbabwe. And guess what the score will be? Hey, guys, it's brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM and Soweto Live.